I brought some soup. I prefer Whataburger, but with my stomach.
I got one and I just ordered my food.
You need to go pick it up for you? I mean, yeah.
Why can't I hear anybody? Recording has started.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Hey guys.
Hi, Anna.
Good morning.
Hey,
Testing, testing. Can anyone hear me?
yeah,
I
we can
think
hear
so.
you.
Oh, wunderbar.
Anna, I had a video from the event Friday, but I can't send it to you. It says the size is too big.
Oh, I wonder, can you share it on your, if you share your
So-
screen, will it let you?
You can just pull it down from the website.
I got what you mean, because I got it on my phone.
No, you can download it from your from the website. Go to haycenter.org, and on the
Oh,
home page.
Not the Hay Center video. I'm talking about the video from the
Oh, there's more.
yeah, I'm talking
Sorry.
I'm talking about the video from Friday's event, career event.
Oh, I can close my eyes and still see that. It was a nice turnout. I liked it. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Great. Yeah, and I thought everybody asked really good questions, and I feel like I learned a lot just from some of those questions that the foster youth were asking. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I really liked it when they was turning the wheel and we was asking them questions regarding employment,
Uh-huh.
and they was winning a prize. So
Okay, let me. Are you able to share yours, Laura?
let me try to see if I can try it again. It keeps saying that it's too large. Let me try it again, Anna.
Okay. There we go. All right, and I know Aurelia is not able to be with us today. Let's see, Laura, Richard, is Janine or Maisha with us?
Yeah, it's me, Richard, and Rolanda from the Hay Center, but me and Richard are going to be doing a PowerPoint unless Rolanda want to have any insights.
Okay, well, we have a good turnout today. Awesome. Well, while you're doing that, Laura, I'll go ahead and get started. Thank you, everyone, for joining
Nope, it
us.
still says file too big, Anna.
Oh, okay. Well, I wonder if you can upload, I mean, not right now, maybe we can share it next time.
Uh-oh.
Upload it to like Google Drive, and then maybe we can share it that way. But it would be cool to share that with everyone, I think. All
Hold
right.
on.
Well, we will go ahead and get started. It looks like somebody's already started the recording, so thank you for that. And yes, we have a lot of people here. So our icebreaker question today is, what is your favorite Thanksgiving dish, since we have Thanksgiving coming up? So if you will write in the chat box, or feel free to also come off mic if you want to say it. But if you'll write in the chat box your name, your organization or school district or agency that you work for, and also your favorite Thanksgiving dish. We can see who all is joining us today.
All right.
I'll kick it off. So my favorite, I'm Anna with Workforce Solutions, Student Hireability Navigator, part of the Foster Youth Collaborative Planning Group. And my favorite dish is this frozen cranberry, like dessert that my aunt always makes. Feel free to share out loud. Looks like we have some cornbread dressing. Stephanie Williams is green bean casserole. We have somebody from Sci-Fair ISD for with macaroni and cheese. Yummy. Right. Richard or Laura, do y'all want to share your favorite? Have some hands raised. Looks like.
I thought I did, but
Oh, I just mean out loud. Picking on
Fried turkey. I said fried turkey, Anna.
Oh, that's a good one. All right.
well,
And
my favorite is the stuffing. My wife makes an excellent stuffing.
oh, nice. And we have Philemon Silva. Do you want to share?
So I wanted to, afternoon, everyone. So the first point I wanted to ask about is, I'm getting a message that says I can't send messages because I'm not a member of the chat. I'm not sure how to be a member of the chat.
And that might be something we have to fix after this. Aurelia is the one that sets up this meeting, and so she has those controls. I don't think I am able to, so I apologize. So if anybody is in that same situation and you want to come off mic, let us know that you are here. Feel free to do so. We have some Deer Park ISD. I think I just saw Janine.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. Hi, everyone.
All right. Arnell Evans, you cannot hear. I'm going to try logging off and logging back on. This is recorded, so we will send it out afterwards also. All right, we have a lot of people. Hi, Maisha.
Hello.
Hey, oops.
Hi.
All right. Okay, Willowbrook office. Great. All right, so today, last month we spun the wheel and it was from somebody that took our survey, and their question was basically what CPS versus foster youth, what does that mean? And so at our planning meeting where it's we have Hay Center, DFPS, Workforce Solutions, Vocational Rehabilitation, really tried to come together to kind of figure out what that looks like and to make it easy to understand for everybody. And so through that, we learned that the Hay Center will be able to kind of help differentiate DFPS and Hay Center and how it all works together. And so with that, we will go ahead and get started here. Just like we do every month, these are all of the school districts. I think that it's updated. If not, please write in the chat box if we don't have your school district listed, or your college or organizations. That list is quite long, but so we'll have to talk about adding that into our upcoming monthly meetings. Alrighty, but we will go ahead and get started with Friday, this past Friday, November 5th. There's a big event, Futureopoly, and it was at the Hay Center, originally supposed to be off Mulworth, but due to the event that was going on over the weekend, it changed last minute. Workforce Solutions had a couple of booths. I thought it was awesome. Laura, or if you or Richard want to kind of explain what it was a little bit? And
Regarding our,
how many students ended up participating?
I think over 25 or 30 students end up participating for, excuse me, for our booth. We just explained that our workforce service team and how we help assist the youth with finding employment, how we implement, if they don't have a resume, we do mock interviewing. Rolanda, her and Richard created the questions on our wheel where we had the youth spin the wheel and they had to answer a question regarding employment for as what do you wear to a hiring event? And if they guessed the question correct, we gave them a book bag or a book that says, how to keep a job or tips for keeping employment or template inside the book is a template in there, how to do a resume and an application, how to fill out an application as well.
Did you get a lot of students or foster youth that got the answers correct or things that they needed to learn?
I think half and half. I think a lot of them did get it correct. For as the question regarding the hiring event, they was getting tongue up in that. They was getting tongue tied with that, especially with the slacks or what shoes to wear or what shirt to wear. And then I gave them a question: what do you wear a skirt above your knees or below your knees?
Mm.
So a couple of them got it correct.
Awesome. And so, yeah, I thought it was a great turnout. I liked how it was different groups each hour with the different raffle prizes. I thought it was pretty clever the way the students got in the raffles too was each booth, each table had 3 Monopoly monies, either $1, $5, or $10. And you gave the individual, kind of depending on how much they engaged with you or questions they asked you, you would give them that amount of money, and then that's how much money they could put into the raffle to win prizes. And they had really cool prizes. A lot of
our youth, Anna, that stood by our table, they was really engaging. So mostly we gave our youth a $10 bill.
I did too, and then the table next to me was giving 10, so I was like, I can't give $1.
Right.
But they did ask a lot of really good questions. So I think, I thought it was awesome. And here's a question, Edith, was this event just for students in foster care? And I believe
so.
Right, Laura?
Yeah, it was just for students in foster care and care and out of care. Yeah.
So, yes, but I think in a lot of the, I thought, and y'all had a DJ too, so that was cool. A lot of things could be replicated at other fairs as well.
Yeah, and I was trying to give you that video because Rolanda, she was doing the slide with some of the youth and some workers from DFPS too. So that was pretty cool to watch them interact and do the slide, certain film.
I agree. That's what I was hoping for, to get some dance. Dance video. I think nobody on this call was doing any dances. But
yeah, no.
Let's see. Matthew Hoffman is asking, for those of us outside of the Houston metropolitan area or unfamiliar, could you please explain what HEY is? And that is a perfect segue into our next slide and what we'll be going over today. So that's a perfect question. We will definitely be answering that.
Right.
And so let's move forward. And I'll show the video now. Is that right, Richard and Laura?
Yeah, I mean, the video explains a synopsis of what the HEY Center is all about. Basically, the HEY Center is a one-stop, center serving we serve more than 1,000 current and former foster youth each year, and it serves between 14 and 25. So, the HEY Center helped the youth with transportation, housing assistance, employment opportunities, parenting classes, life skill classes. And this video is going to tell you a synopsis of everything that the HEY Center is all about. Rolanda is also in this video as well.
Hello, my name is Mary Green, and I am the director at the Hayes Center, a program of Harris County Protective Services for children and adults. We serve more than 1,100 youth every year. The Hayes Center is a public-private partnership that serves youth ages 14 through 26 who are aging out of foster care.
The Hayes Center is a really, really great fit for Oasis Petroleum because it fits in really well with our culture. One of our mottos at Oasis is that great assets plus great people equals great opportunity. And when you think about it, opportunity is really what the Hayes Center is providing to foster youth.
We provide an array of services to include transportation, individual goal planning, employment, housing, and educational services. For services that we don't provide here at the Hayes Center, we rely on community partners and we refer our youth to those organizations.
The Hayes Center has always been a refuge. Being a former foster youth, I've been able to use the benefits that are offered at the Hayes Center to better my life. Our youth here have been through a lot, so we want to give them all the necessary tools that they need so they can gain independence. Some of the youth that come to the Hayes Center have absolutely nothing, sometimes just the clothes on their back and nowhere to go. So we try to find whatever services we can to the best of our ability to help them.
My first time going to the Hayes Center, I was going for POW classes. It's a class for youth that teaches you benefits from CPS or from the Hayes Center. I love it.
Being in foster care or being a former foster kid and going through independent living, you need someone to just listen sometimes. Each and every day, you know, with the skills that the Hayes Centers gave me, I applied them to my life and they've really helped me become a better person. Life does get better. There is hope. I can make a better life for myself in the future, and whatever happened in the past doesn't define me.
A semester before I graduated high school, I actually had 21 missing credits because I was moving so much from home to home all through high school. The Hayes Center got with me, got with the school, and got with the principal, and they helped me figure out a way to make all those 21 credits up in a matter of a semester. And that was such a huge accomplishment because on June 3rd, I got to walk across that stage and it just was the best moment ever. I'm so happy I didn't miss it.
When you age out of foster care, when you turn 18, literally the day you turn 18, the following day, many of these youth effectively end up homeless. So one of the visions of Mary Green and the staff at the Hayes Center was to figure out some sort of a bridge housing program. Macquarie came in and they found a living arrangement, an apartment complex where we're housing up to 25 youth and basically bridge them from foster care and the household system to becoming more productive adults in a permanent housing situation.
The Hayes Center guarantees that we will pay the youth's rent each month as long as they are working towards self-sufficiency.
The people at the Bridge Housing Program, they help out a lot. They don't have to sometimes, but they'll take us up to the college. They'll help us make sure our tuition waivers are in place. They'll do stuff like just taking us to the grocery store. Some of us, like me, I didn't even have a place to live going into the housing program, so they help out a lot just with basic needs.
So when I first walked into my apartment for the Bridge program, it was fully furnished and it was really pretty. The furniture was really, really nice. It felt like home when I walked in.
You see what the Hayes Center is trying to provide? They really want to give these youth the skills to be productive. As you learn more about it and you learn more about what the issue is and how little resource is available, it's just so easy to get behind this.
The Hayes Center relies on volunteers for us to provide the comprehensive services that we do. We could not do it without them.
It is such an impactful volunteer experience because you really gain so much from volunteering with these youth.
When I first started volunteering with the Hayes Center, I participated in the prom event, which happens every spring. I enjoyed it so much, and my wife saw how much I enjoyed it. So the next year, she started volunteering at the prom event.
The transition coaching program matches a trained volunteer with a youth who then assists them while they're aging out of care. Every match is different, but the one commonality is the supportive connection between the youth and the coach.
I personally enjoy working with youth and adolescents, so for me,
is just something, it feeds my soul.
The Hay Center tries to do the best they can to match our mentors with these foster kids so that we can have a strong relationship. The youth has asked me, why are you doing this? And I tell them, I'm doing it because I know that you are very important to our community.
Well, I didn't know what to expect getting a transition coach to start because I had never done anything like that before. But he's helped out a lot with setting up certain goals, making sure I have a proper budget, and making sure I have a clear idea of what I need to do. It's really helpful having a transition coach, making sure you have a general direction of knowing where you're going.
I would like to share a story about one of my youth who was attending a local technical college here in our area.
I did my first 2 semesters at school and I was homeless. I was sleeping on friends' couch. Sometimes I was sleeping outside at the school. But I knew that, you know, when I first started, I wasn't hungry. And then I feel like the second semester I became hungry because I knew that I wanted better for myself and I knew that I was better than what people viewed me or what I viewed myself as. The Hay Center was able to provide somewhere for me to stay during my last semester at school. I was able to get my tools from the Hay Center. The Hay Center also raised money to put towards a car for me. That way I could have transportation to and from school. Everyone at the Hay Center showed up at my graduation to cheer me on.
He is now an employee at Centerpoint Energy, earning $30 an hour. He now has his own apartment. He now has a vehicle. And through community partners, we were able to assist this young man with completing his program. We are so proud of him.
What I always ask people to do, whether it's in fundraising or asking for volunteers, I say, no matter what, even if you do nothing else, now that you've heard the story of the Hay Center, please tell at least one person today about the Hay Center and what they do and help spread the word.
It's so easy for individuals, for corporations, for, you know, for anyone to want to get involved once they understand what this is all about.
I love the Hay Center, and I have a strong passion about our youth. What we do here is so important.
The Hay Center is home.
The Hay Center is helpful.
The Hay Center is empowerment.
The Hay Center is encouraging.
The Hay Center is a relief.
The Hay Center is heaven. It's heaven.
Thank you for considering giving your time, your gifts, and your resources to the current and former foster youth served through the Hay Center.
All righty. That was really good. I don't know if anybody noticed on the closed captioning, the Hay
Yeah.
Center spelled H-E-Y. All right, before we get started, I see there's a question. Are these services available to students, young adults that do not live in Harris County?
Yes, actually, we cater to the whole Region 6. Even if you stay in Galveston County, long as they're in Region 6, we cater to all those young adults that's in foster care.
And Edith, that is, Region 6 is the same, I think it's the same exact counties that we serve at Workforce Solutions, so it's those same 13 counties. And one of the main goals of this group is to make sure that all of our outlying areas are informed of what services are in their area. Okay.
Right.
But okay, I will let you continue, Laura. Sorry.
You can go to the next slide, Anna. Richard is going to give a synopsis of the referral process.
Good afternoon, everyone. The referral process for the Hay Center, it's important to differentiate the difference between Harris County Resources for Children and Adults, which is the Hay Center, and DFPS, which is Department of Family and Protective Services. DFPS has the legal custody of the youth in foster care and does their placement, does the initial removal and placement of the youth, and does monthly checks on them while they're in placement. They refer to us in bullet point number 1. They do referral to us seeking particular services, whether that's life skills training or job training or education specialist. We have Dr. Johnson on staff for that. And we provide those services that the state authorizes us to provide. We contact youth usually within 2 days, and we have to actually make a physical contact with the youth and complete an intake and do an assessment of where they are now, what their goals are, and put together a case plan that is written with the youth, for the youth, and they have a major stake in making sure that happens. So CPS is not equal to DFPS. So we need to put our not equal sign there. But we do work together. We work hand in hand. The center has caseworkers that assist with youth both in care and after care. We differentiate that by youth who are still in a foster placement or a subsidized independent living placement from the state. Those who are out of placement and are on their own, we refer to that as aftercare services. And when a youth turns age 21, they cease having a status with the state at that point, because they're no longer awards of the state. They are now adults. But we do continue to serve youth ages 21 to 26 and provide many of the same services that the aftercare youth receive. And of course, you can read all the different programs that we have available. They're rather numerous. Next slide, please.
So the Hayes Center also provide wraparound services for our youth. The wraparound services is for support services, and it's a circle of support for our youth that's go without employment, or if they need housing, or case management services. We are there to help them provide a support services for them. Also, we have aftercare services at the Hayes Center that provide mental health services, housing, transportation assistance for us Metro cards. If the youth is homeless, we provide mailboxes at the Hayes Center, voicemail, email for youth. We also have a computer lab at the Hayes Center. If the youth would like to fill out an application, or if they want to fill out an application for food share, they can come to the Hayes Center, and there's a computer lab there. We also have holiday events. We have food cards that we issue to our youth that's under 21. They get up to $100 a month. If they don't have any food, they give away $50 food cards to Kroger, so even HEB. Also, we have the education specialist, Dr. Johnson. She helped the youth with tuition waivers, education and training, with a FAFSA application support. She also go out and gain different college partnerships with different colleges throughout Houston area. They have aftercare, room and board assistance. Also with our summer jobs program, me, Rolanda, and Richard work with the summer jobs program, how we try to gain partnership with different employers throughout Houston for our youth could be trained on job training for 6 to 8 weeks. Next slide.
As Laura was saying, we partner with a lot of community-based organizations. That includes obviously workforce solutions offices. You're a major partner along with their vocational education. Various mental health counselors, various shelters to provide temporary place for them to live while we're looking for something permanent. We do have a housing component here at the Hay Center, and we have several workers that are dedicated to just that particular function, helping the youth navigate the, the housing process, getting a voucher, selecting an apartment, and making sure that they have everything they need in that apartment in order to be successful. So partnerships is a major part of how we provide services here at the Hay Center. Next slide.
So we provide food bags for our youth that's homeless or is not homeless. So the food bag, there's no access to a kitchen food bag. So, the no access to a kitchen is the ones that's homeless. They have like tuna packs, Roman noodles, 2 cans of fruit, cheese, peanut butter crackers, granola bars. If the youth has a kitchen but unable to access food, in that bag, it has like spaghetti sauce, stuff that you can cook on the stove, macaroni and cheese, stuff like that. We also give out hygiene bags to youth that include like a toothpaste, comb, brush, deodorant, lotion, feminine hygiene products for females, and there are also male bags too for the men that need hygiene bags as well. Next slide.
The Bridge Housing Program was a program that we started probably about 5 years ago now. And it's a program where we are bridging youth from being dependent on the child welfare system to becoming independent, productive members of the community. What they do is they are staffed into the Bridge Housing Program. We do pay their rent and utilities initially, and then as the program progresses, they eventually assume a larger portion of their own share of the rent, with the idea being that by the end of the program, and the average program will last about 1 year because they do sign a 1-year lease. And by the time they reach the end of that they're capable of paying the rent and paying their own bills. I think we have case management on site where they live to provide help with a variety of things. I've spent a day over at the Bridge Housing, and the youth come in and out of that office like 20 times a day. Where's the vacuum? How do I change the vacuum cleaner bag? It's full and it's not working. The simplest things that we kind of take for granted, they've not had an opportunity to practice and experience it themselves. So it's a lot of new stuff, and our staff is very engaged with them on the premises, and we provide a housing navigator, which is sitting behind me, to help them when they do the Bridge Housing Program, to be able to have their own place, separate from a program. Next slide, please.
So these are the housing and shelters that we provide to our youth that's homeless. So like the Covenant House, if the youth come in saying that they're homeless, we'll provide them with the address, the phone number. We also will call to see if there are any beds available for them. So this is a few local resources that the Hay Center are partnership with that can help assist the youth with housing or any other resources that they might need, like reaching out for testing for HIV, anything in that matter. Next slide. Okay.
And also, it's not listed on there. A lot of our focus is on Harris County, Fort Bend, and Montgomery counties are where the majority of our population reside. Those counties like Walker, Waller, Liberty, Matagorda, Brazoria, I can't remember them all, there's so many. We network and call individual agencies in those respective counties for youth that are residing in that area and don't wish to move into the greater Houston metro area. So while you don't see things on there, we're out of county. There we do deal with a multiple of out of county organizations. One of our major ones is in Montgomery County, Angel Reach. We deal with them quite frequently. And we deal with several shelters that are available in Galveston County as well. Food services, we want to make sure that our youth are taking advantage of the SNAP program. We do have, for youth under 21 who are still in aftercare services from the state, we do have food cards we can give them to go shopping with. We want to make sure that we have our young ladies involved in the WIC program if they're pregnant or parenting. And we also refer them to various food pantries in the area, in addition to our own food pantry here. So, we make sure everyone has food. Next slide.
We also refer them to different Houston Food Bank too as well, if they don't have any food either. So this is a list of our Hay Center staff. Mary Green, she's our director. Brianna Hill, that's my manager. And then you have a list of the in-care supervisor, aftercare supervisor, and all the in-care and aftercare caseworkers, the life skills trainer and instructor, me, myself, Richard, Rolando, we the workforce team at the Hay Center. And then Katie Victoria, she's the manager of the housing department. So she worked closely with Danielle Dumpster, Laura Mears, and Joan White, the housing program coordinator. They try to help assist the youth with finding housing. And we also partnership with Housing Authority to get them different vouchers for housing.
I apologize for the extra small font on this. If you go to our website, which is haycenter.org, we have a staff listing with phone numbers and email addresses that you'll actually be able to see. Next slide.
Sorry. That was all of the information that we had kind of gone over in meetings. I know we have some people from all over the region and a lot of school districts. Are there any questions that you guys have for Richard and Laura? Or from the school districts, I wonder, what does that relationship look like as far as Hay Center, DFPS, and school district? Is there much involvement from all three sides?
Well, we have a big advantage being with the Harris County Department of Resources for Children and Youth. They run a triad program where we have dedicated social workers in various school districts around the area. Unfortunately, they have one in Waller too. I take that back. I was going to say Harris County only, but we do have those people in the schools as our point of contact, and our caseworkers on an individual basis, depending on what the need is of the youth, will access their guidance counselors in that area. We try to make sure that we have an IEP in place and that we closely monitor that and include the goals in our case plan so we can help further that along. That's about it on the yeah, forgot where it went.
That's good. And so I know before we did have, here's a question. Nikisha would like to come and tour the facility. Should I just call to set an appointment? This presentation was very helpful. Oh, that's good. Can they get a hold of you, Richard, or Laura to come and?
They can email me or give me a call. My phone number is 832-927-7008, and then I could coordinate with my manager, Brianna Hill, to see which day you would like to come in and tour the facility. I could put it in the chat also, Anna.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Cool. If you're doing a tour, how many people can come in and do a tour at the same time?
Well, I think the level is still at red, so I don't know how many people that could be. And we going back full time in the office on Monday, the next Monday. So I can follow up with you, Anna, and see how many people would they like to come in.
Okay.
And we could even schedule a presentation for them, especially if we know in advance that we're having so many people coming.
Okay, yeah, that might be really cool. I see, Lisa, we are gonna share the recording and the PowerPoint with everyone. All right, Laura just put her info in. Thank you. Any other questions? And we'll share all of, I know, and Richard, not your fault, it's my fault how small that the typing was. So I'll share those as an attachment also. I just was trying to fit everybody in one page.
Yeah, it's getting difficult these days.
A lot of information.
The Hay Center also, I don't know if it wasn't on our presentation, but the Hay Center, in cooperation with the city of Houston and Harris County, is going to be breaking ground soon on a Hay Center campus, which will have housing on the premises, and we'll have room for additional staff and additional services. This campus is supposed to be right off of the Gulf Freeway before you get to Hobby. So it's fairly centrally located, and the plans for it are awesome. Just they're great. I can't wait.
When tentatively, do y'all know when it is set to be open?
I think it's
2 years, 2 or 3 years.
Lord, did you do 2022 or 23?
Yeah, I think it's 2 years.
And how many for the bridge housing, how many people can that accommodate?
Currently, bridge housing can accommodate up to 25 youth.
Okay. So do y'all have a waiting list for that?
No, not right now. We still accepting youth into the bridge housing program.
And a lot of the youth are going into the SIL program, which is a DFPS run program. SIL stands for Supervised Independent Living. And for example, DePelchin has, we probably have maybe 15 or 20 rooms in an old wing of some building that they're no longer using, that they refurbished for, it's kind of like a dorm setting, really. They each have their own individual room, and there's a shared kitchen and laundry, computer lab, and all they have to be is either going to school and or working in order to qualify to stay there. The state gives them a small stipend every month, but they are expected to cover their expenses via employment. So a lot of youth are opting for that measure because they can stay there until they're 21.
Okay.
And then Anna, also once they leave the bridge housing, they are already working with the housing coordinator, Joan White, and the other housing coordinator case managers to get them affiliated to getting a voucher for Housing Authority. That's who we partnership with, Housing Authority, to get their own apartment once they leave bridge housing too as well.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and the ultimate goal is that once they Once they're stably housed and they avail themselves of the tuition waiver, which is a tremendous benefit that DFPS offers youth who age out of foster care, they can attend any public funded educational institution in the state of Texas free. No tuition is charged. They waive the tuition. Their Pell Grant usually will cover a portion of their living expenses and books. And they also have an ETV program, which is a federal program that's administered by the state. ETV, it stands for Educational Training Voucher. And that is also available for youth, attending post-secondary education. So the idea is that once they are stably housed, they will income out over time when they earn enough money.
Repeat, what is that? ETV stands for what, Richard? I'm sorry.
Education Training Voucher.
So Anna, could you ask Richard a question?
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Absolutely.
Hi, Richard. This is Marilyn. I'm the Community Outreach and Awareness Specialist for Vocational Rehabilitation Services. So when you all are helping these kids get enrolled in school, is there somebody that's discussing with them the fact that their money, although it feels free, every hour that they enroll in is geared toward that Pell Grant? It's not how many hours they pass. And the reason I asked that, I just spoke to someone last week who's coming to us and wanting us to pay for them to go to college because they failed so many classes. Their Pell Grant is gone. And I think that's a discussion somebody along the line before they get to VR needs to have.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Our educational specialist goes over with them, what the requirements for, being able to continue receiving the Pell Grant. And, a lot of our students, they try to engage in a post-secondary educational program before they're stably housed. And that makes it so difficult because they will, it puts them on academic probation almost after the first semester. So we do work closely with them up front. And, but unfortunately, some youth, maybe taking on a little bit more than they can handle at a time. And our education specialist, Dr. Johnson, you're welcome to speak to her anytime. She works very closely with all the schools.
If somebody goes on academic probation, Richard, can they, and they're working, like they can still utilize the housing component?
Yeah, they would. The housing is separate from the education. Yeah.
But if they wanted to continue and take those same classes, they would have to pay for those.
The tuition waiver should allow them to continue to take classes and have the tuition waived. There is some provision, and I believe it passed the biennium, not this year, but a couple of years back, where if you take a class and fail it so many times, you're not allowed to take it anymore.
Okay.
But like I said, our education specialist is the guru on that, and that's why we have her. She's great. Any last questions?
No. All right. Thank you so much, Richard and Laura, again for walking us through this.
And thank you for having. It looks like we have about 80 people online. Thank you so much for putting up with our presentation.
Thank you all.
Y'all will make up for it once you share that dance video with us. And I was wrong. If Rolanda's still on the call, Rolanda was dancing. I saw her.
Yeah, she is on the call. She was dancing. She danced through 2 songs, I believe.
Yes, as long as my feet, as much as my feet would allow me to.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys again. And so we will move on to just open share. Maisha, I think you're on the call. still and have her talk to everyone about this next slide.
Yes, so hi, my name is Maisha Lyons. Excuse me, I'm not able to get my camera on right now. But I did want to share some information with the group and ask that you share this with anyone that you know that works in the service industry. We are aware that many families have been affected by the pandemic. And so Texas Workforce Commission has come up with a grant to be able to provide families with 12 months free of childcare for parents that work in selective service industries. I've asked Anna to include the flyer, and to get more information, you can click on the link and it will take you to Workforce Solutions website and give you more information in terms of what particular areas that the parent would need to be working in order to be eligible for the free childcare. But we have a goal to sign up 12,224 children by March 31st of 2022. And they will be able to receive 12 months of free childcare. So again, if you know anyone who is in need of childcare and works in these particular service industries, please go ahead and pass on this information, this flyer, the link, so we can get them signed up and get them that free childcare.
If I can just add to what Maisha just shared as well, if there's somebody who is currently enrolled and receiving child care assistance through Workforce Solutions, and they work in one of the qualifying service industries, they can, if they would like to, choose to transition to our service industry recovery child care, because under regular child care, our parents do have a parent share of costs that they have to pay each month. And under the service industry recovery child care, that cost does not apply for 12 months. So if you know someone who's already receiving child care but does work in a service industry, they may choose to transition, and they can reach out to us to see if they qualify for that and to find out how that would work.
Yes, thank you, Bobby.
Awesome. And something that I thought was cool is that when I hear service industry, I automatically just think of restaurant industry. And so to know that it includes like retail, grocery stores, hotels, and restaurants. So it covers more than what I would have expected just from hearing it. Here's a question. Does that include current Choices customers that are receiving CC services? That question is for Bobby or Maisha, or we can find out for you. Yeah, so
they said that if they're receiving Choices childcare.
Yes, the question is, so does that include current Choices customers that are receiving CC services? So I'm assuming it's Choices customers also.
Yes, if they are working in the service industries, we ask them to go ahead and fill out that application. It depends on, again, what service industries that they're working in, excuse me. And so that information can be also added to their application, and they'll go ahead and review their application and inform them individually if they are qualified for the child care assistance. But to answer it in smaller terms, yes.
Not to get too much in the weeds, but there are, when it comes to continuing childcare after the 12 months, there could be some issues to consider. So people may or may not want to make that transition, but yes, it is a possibility. They would just need to reach out and speak to somebody at Workforce Solutions. All righty. So I also wanted to share this. Hey Center, if you want to volunteer time, donations, this is how you can, or if you want to share this with anybody you might know that would want to support Hey Center, we'll have this flyer for you. And I don't know is Dr. Fraser Kelsey on the call today? She might not be, but she shared this. I'm in another group, but I thought it was an interesting flyer that might apply or be of interest to some foster youth out there. So this is called the 3rd Annual Summit on Improving Opportunities for African American and Latino Male Youth. And it's kind of writing a story of your life. The summit will be presented in a Zoom webinar format. You can register for it here. I'll send out more information on this too after talking to Dr. Fraser Kelsey. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then also there's a contest to make a video for individuals to turn in. And that'll be showcased at the summit. All righty. So next we have our Wheel of Opportunity for next month, but we'll be going over in December. And so I'll spin it, and if Maisha, will you tell me when to stop, please?
Stop.
Okay. Collaboration with DFPS. All right, we'll go into that next month. And our next meeting will be December 13th. Again, we'll be sending out this recording and the PowerPoint and some attachments to go along with that. If you have any questions, let me know and I can help connect you with the right person. Laura had her information on here, and we'll be sharing Laura and Richard's information in the email. But other than that, have a great Thanksgiving. Yes, Bobby, sorry. Sorry, before everybody signs off, I just wanted to let you know I added a link to another event that's happening this week. There's a group called the Greater Houston Opportunity Youth Collaborative. They're starting a learning series to try to make sure that we are considering the youth perspective when we're trying to connect with youth. And the first event in that series happens this Wednesday. If that sounds like something you might be interested in, click on the link for more information and or to register for the event. So just want to make sure everyone knew that was over there as well.
Thank you, Bobby.
All righty. Well, thank you, everyone, and we will see you next month. Thanks, Anna. Thanks, Richard and Laura.
Thank you. You guys have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Susan. How are you?
I have been better.
Oh,
I'm
my.
irritated, and I'm hoping you can help me, but it's probably out of my hands.
What's going on?
I have a displaced family.
Okay.
Griffin Mosley, Griffin Howard. Do you know about these kids? These are the ones that this is a school choice for them because they really belong at Bowie.
Okay.
Or did belong when they enrolled with us at Bowie
Mm-hmm.
and at Seguin, but she didn't want the girls separated.
Right. Okay.
She chose Meyer. I told her at least 3 times they could not ride a bus because this was school choice.
Right. That's correct.
And they have busing now.
Okay. Is that, and I may have missed it somehow.
And I'm irritated because I feel like she has been trying to kind of skirt the rules constantly. Like she wants to come eat breakfast with them. She wants to do other things that are not against our rules. And so now I'm irritated that she's done this. And I just want to know, is this okay? Are you okay with that?
Okay. Now, obviously it had to come through our office. What are the students' names?
Griffin Mosley is one, and Griffin Howard is the other. Let me go back and I'll find their ID numbers. Josephine Griffin
Okay,
Howard.
and I do see one. It seems like it was updated on, well, there was more than one request. It looks like there's one from 10/20, then there was one on 11/5. It was put in. Yeah.
I asked Dawn, but she said she doesn't know anything about it. She's covering for Elizabeth, who's out on the.
Yes, because we did.
And if you guys are going to allow it, that's one thing. But
I'm sure we have almost 400 students that meet McKinney-Vento eligibility. So I remember it speaking with you. Hey, how are you?
Dr. Morris is ready to call mom if you say it's not okay.
Yes, and I mean, actually, it's not, since it's school of choice. I'm just, when I did receive the request, don't recall the back conversation, and so with the number of McKinney-Vento eligible kids that we have, almost 400, so I'm not sure. I just see the request, but I don't know if there's a backstory on it or any of those things. Yeah. And so you guys don't know what the origin of it was or how it came about either. Do you know? Okay, so you said Dawn is not.
A couple of times.
Okay.
I told her, no, remember, ma'am, when we talked when you enrolled.
Yes, that it is, since it's school of choice and we're being gracious and allowing. But obviously she talked to someone, and that's what I'm trying to figure out, who she may have talked to. I do see Kelly Kipping on here. And I know she does provide support to both our pregnant and homeless students. So she may have talked to, I don't know if she went directly to Roy Clover and he might have contacted us and said this family is asking. So let me do a little digging on it before I give an answer one way or another, because I'm just not sure how this came about.
If we don't hear back from you today, are they okay to go ahead and ride home today? Or do you think you'll probably have an answer before dismissal today?
It's 2:00. I can't guarantee I'll have an answer by dismissal today, but in all likelihood, they circumvented us.
They did, yeah.
Okay, they probably called Roy Clover directly.
That's what I'm guessing, because they already have a route. I'm looking at the part-time, they've already routed.
Yes, hold on. Come on in. It may be Donna that has some information. Come on in. Hold on. Donna? Come in. Okay, never mind. But I was hoping but they probably called Roy directly. Mm-hmm. And then he contacted Donna and said, hey, this family is McKinney-Vento.
Last year too with O'Veal, who's not here anymore, but it's the same thing. They called transportation, and transportation said, oh, well, they're displaced. Yes, we can do busing, and they just routed them, even though it was a school choice for that one too.
Yes. So I would say go ahead and let them ride this afternoon. But you said this family is kind of a problem?
I know the principals had to talk to her at least once, and then the AP talked to her because she kept bringing her kids late, and she'd want them to eat their breakfast in the cafeteria, but there's no one in the cafeteria to monitor them because
Right.
everybody's already out in the cafeteria, and it just seems to be always something. There's just always something, and I hate that because I want to be helpful to
Sure, and you always are.
difficult time,
Mhm.
but I'm specifically irritated because I have told her on more than one occasion that they couldn't ride a bus, and now I look like the bad guy because I'm the one who was saying no, and everyone else says, oh, you can ride the bus, it's fine. So I feel bad that yeah, but I thought I was doing.
No, you were following protocol. You didn't do anything wrong. Transportation is not something the district is required to provide with this school of choice situation.
Yeah.
We can, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, and obviously the district has made a way too, since the child, they already have a route that they have,
They've already
and so, I probably would not, I'm gonna be honest, however this came about, I probably would not.
Cause any more trouble. I don't want to have her have a bad thought about us when we've already had to address, coming late and the breakfast and all of these other things we've already had to address with her.
So this situation may certainly prevent them coming late.
Yes.
And it may prevent the mom from coming up to the school at all. And I mean, I'm just being honest. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it may be.
There was some late pickup.
So it may be something that's beneficial to the family, and so you certainly can say, if asked, it is policy that the district does not have to provide transportation for choice options.
For choice, yeah.
Okay, but there was an existing route, or they were able to establish a route, but that is not something the district was required to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's something the district would continue to do next year.
It's not, I mean, it's not guaranteed. I'm surprised that, knowing it was, yeah.
There must be someone, I can't think of anyone.
But they probably don't know how it came about, because we have kids going all over the place that are McKinney-Vento, out of district, or HISD, everywhere, and so they just saw that this is another case that somebody's put in a transportation request for, and we're going to proceed,
Yeah.
And I'm usually copied on these, but I don't have.
But there's a lot, Well, and let me ask you, since I have you on the phone, did the caseworker for?
No, she did not, and that's what I thought.
This morning, and so I gave her your information.
Okay, does she have do you have her email address or any of her information?
I have her phone number.
Okay.
I don't have her email address, though. I told her that you needed contact from her through email.
Yes.
She also asked for your number, so she might be calling you. She seemed familiar, though, with what you were talking about with that paperwork, though, so she must have dealt with that before.
Okay, and that's what I actually thought you were calling me about. And I was going to say, no, I haven't heard from that caseworker yet. That if she brings him in tomorrow, because I'll be in the office, why don't you just ask her to give me a call? So we can call at that time and then go from there, okay?
They haven't changed his address or anything yet, because I guess the new family needs to come up here and bring.
And they're going to have to do all of that in the system before we can route them anyway. So,
I mean, that's what I told her this morning, because she was saying something about until he gets busing again, and that's when I stepped out and I said, well, I mean, he can't have busing until we change his address, because right now what we have on file is he doesn't live there anymore. So
right.
And we have to do that first, and then we can do all the paperwork. So
So for this Griffin situation, I would just let it and just say that
it's going to be for the
the law says it's not required, but the district was able to accommodate in this instance. Okay, so I think this will be a situation where you may not have to deal with mom.
Yeah.
Don't say I said it, but okay. Okay. All right, Susan. Take care. Bye-bye. Yes, sir. What happened today? No, we can't do that. We can't give the name of any students. Oh my God. I think they staying on top of it though. I think they may be seeing some stuff. Yeah, yeah. With some of the hearings and stuff, he's pushing forward, and I think he's working Maxwell to death with the appeals and different things. I don't think he knew that was going to be part of what he was going to be doing. Yeah. Well, because he's still learning. Who was doing the appeals before? Was Osaki doing all of it? Oh, that's a lot. Okay. Because there's a lot, but a lot more kids are going this year. It's been crazy. Yeah. Well, and I mean, and some days I'm the one that's upset. It depends. But I think that it's a lot of work now. I mean, and I have to say, he's on the phone all day, every day. Agreed. It makes them feel important, and some people like to, so. But no, we can't be giving names. It needs to be, I can't, break FERPA, give students names, but this was oh, okay. Well, we're going to be talking all week because I don't know when Maxwell going to be back. Okay. I'm just glad we're not meeting this week. That's awful, but it's the truth. Okay. Okay. Bye.